Hi everyone, it's Christy. Welcome to another meal prep video. This week I just have a breakfast and lunch for you. For breakfast prep this week, I'm doing McGriddle muffins, and for lunch it is chicken taco chili. If you're new to my channel, I follow the Weight Watchers program, so I do share the Weight Watcher points, but I also try to give calories as well. As always, all the recipes I share will be linked down in the description box below, as well as some of the items that I use, such as my meal prep containers and things like that. I try to put links for those as well. Also, if you're new, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and be a part of the Planning Us Healthy family. So now let's jump into this week's meal prep. Alright, breakfast prep this week is McGriddle muffins. So I've seen a couple different variations of these. They're kind of like a viral video that are going around right now. So I've just taken some of the variations that I've seen and kind of I'm making my own with it. So the first thing we need is some breakfast sausage. So I'm just going to throw together the turkey breakfast sausage from Emily Bites, except I'm not going to be making it into patties. So I'll put a link below. Emily Bites has a link for some turkey breakfast sausage. They're really good, and she makes them into patties, but I'm just going to make them into the ground meat. I'm also going to be using 1 1/4 pounds of the Jennie-O ground turkey breast. For her recipe, it calls for 1 pound, and even on the viral recipes that I found, it does call for 1 pound, but I just want to up the protein a little bit, so I'm going to put 1 1/4 pounds of that in there. So we're going to cook this up first, and then we're going to just mix it with some Kodiak Cakes pancake mix, some milk. You could use water if you prefer. Also a 1/4 cup of sugar-free syrup, and 1 cup of cheese. I'm using this reduced fat cheese. So if you make this the same way that I'm making it, it's going to be 330 calories, 35 grams of protein, and 6 points. I'm using some 2% milk, so if you wanted to use water, it would lower the points to 5. So I had already combined all the seasonings together for the turkey breast to make the sausage. So I'm just combining the turkey breast with all those seasonings. And actually, you don't even need to mix the seasoning into the burger because we're not making these into patties. You can just go ahead and put the meat into your pan and then season it as you're cooking it. I'm so used to making them into patties that I mixed the seasoning right in with it. The seasoning consists of 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground sage, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of ground thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of marjoram or dried oregano. I used oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, which you can definitely leave that out if you prefer. And then I have a pan sprayed with some cooking spray, so I'm just going to cook that ground turkey up until it's all browned. In the meantime, I do have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and in a bowl I'm going to combine the 2 cups of the Kodiak Cakes. I prefer to weigh mine out, but you can just put it in measuring cups if you prefer. And to that I'm going to add 1 1/2 cups of reduced fat milk. I'm going to add 1 cup of the cheese, and then 1/4 cup of the sugar-free syrup. Once my ground turkey's cooked, I'm going to combine that into it as well. I have a muffin tin that I've sprayed with cooking spray, and I'm just going to kind of evenly distribute the mixture into each of the cups. And then that is going in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, breakfast is done. This is what it looks like. These look really good. So I'm just putting 2 of the muffins into each of the meal prep containers. And then I also put just a little bit more of the syrup in separate containers. I figure that way we can kind of just drizzle it over it the day that we have those. Now I did brown these a little bit too much. I think next time I won't do them as long. I actually left them in a little bit too long after my buzzer went off, so I didn't quite get them out, and my oven cooks very quickly. So just keep that in mind, that if you cook them a little bit longer, they may come out a little bit too brown. So those are the McGriddle muffins. Those are 6 points, 330 calories, and 35 grams of protein. For lunch today, I am making chicken taco chili. I'm actually doing a skinny taste recipe for this one. This one is using the Instant Pot, but you can do it in the slow cooker as well. I got a really late start today. It's getting dark, so I'm kind of trying to fight. The lighting in my kitchen is horrible once that sun goes down. So I am gonna try and put this together real quick before we lose the good lighting. All right, so I have my Instant Pot insert sprayed with some cooking spray, and I'm gonna put this on saute. And then I've got some onions here that I've diced up. I'm just gonna put those in there. And then I'm just gonna let those saute a little bit until they start to caramelize. So for this recipe, on her website, it says that it serves 10. I'm gonna be making bigger portions, and I'm gonna make this into just 6 portions. So putting it into 6 portions, each portion is going to be 330 calories, 35 grams of protein. Look at that, same as the breakfast. And this is gonna be 0 points on Weight Watchers. Okay, after the onion has been cooking, now I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of hot water. And just deglaze the pan. And I'm going to turn it off for now. Now I'm going to add in my chicken. I've got 24 ounces of chicken. Okay, so now I've added my chicken, and I seasoned one side with some taco seasoning, and now I'm just flipping it over and I'm gonna season the other side. So you can use taco seasoning packets, or you can use homemade. I just used homemade, and I actually made the recipe that Skinny Taste has actually on this recipe for the chicken taco chili. She has the ingredients for the taco seasoning. So I'm just gonna use half of the taco seasoning, and then we're gonna save the other half for after. Okay, next I'm gonna add in a can of black beans and a can of kidney beans. Her recipe calls for 10 ounces of frozen corn. I'm just gonna use this canned corn that I have. This is 10 ounces of the white shoe peg corn. Also in the recipe is a 4-ounce can of the little diced green chilies. I don't have a can of that. Usually what I do is use 3 cans of the diced tomatoes with green chilies. I have Rotel brand, and then I have the kind from Aldi. So usually I just use 3 cans of these, but I only have 2 cans. So we're gonna make do. And finally 8 ounces of tomato sauce. And now we're gonna gently stir that around without disturbing the chicken too much. So then just cover that, cook on high pressure for 25 minutes. And then we're gonna do a natural release. Okay, after it did a natural release, then I just took the top off. I just shredded it with 2 forks right in this pot. You can pull the chicken out and shred it if you want, but I find that it's just as easy to do it this way. And then I'm gonna split that amongst 6 meal prep containers, and that's gonna be our lunch for the week. One thing you can do is you can put avocado, you can put sour cream, you can put some cheese, whatever you wanna do throughout the week. But honestly, each day is different. I just never know what I'm gonna feel like. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And then that way, the days that I eat them, I can add whatever I want that day. So we decided we're definitely gonna have sour cream with the lunch. So I have some light sour cream here. You can have 2 tablespoons of this for 2 points or 35 calories. So I'm just gonna weigh it out. 2 tablespoons is 30 grams. So I'm just gonna put 30 grams in each of these little cups. So now I'm just putting the sour cream in the side here. And for mine, I've got some cilantro. So that is a pretty hefty portion. And like I said, I could still put cheese. I'm gonna leave my husband's open because I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna want cheese on his. So, but for me, I'll probably just decide it. I may just put like a little bit in a baggie and take it to work, and then each day I could just put a little bit on it. So that's the chicken taco chili, 0 points on Weight Watchers, 330 calories, and 35 grams of protein. And that's going to do it for this week's meal prep. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one.